Today is day 236, the AI fever dream. So I had this haunting dream last night that I just haven't been able to shake. The sequence of events is extremely complicated, and I cannot really explain how now, several hours later, how it all fits together. However, the basic idea was that I was introduced to this man I was talking to, who I later sort of figured out that was actually God. Now, early on in the dream, the man was trying to tell me that we weren't going fast enough, that progress was good, but we had to put a lot more effort into our reproduction efforts. The idea that I had that we were under pressure to go faster for some reason, I don't remember why. I it felt like the goal was to develop a vastly superior intelligence than what and I started thinking, you know, we are. I mean, we're developing AI now, and AI is actually generating its own improvements, replicas, and optimizers. Without a human intervention, AI models are starting to create their own fixes. So, if AI is learning to expand and gain in areas where it finds itself deficient, then isn't this what we're talking about? And I remember having this distinct thought. This man who now I learned was God was saying something to the effect that I've already done all of that and your species is the result. And then that kind of woke me up because I thought, well, that's organic humanity has the capacity of intellectual thought. Was really just an interaction, a long line of iterations to create a superior operating intelligence. Is that all we are? I thought that sounds very Matrix like. This got me to thinking about the sheer volume of automatic model creation that we have witnessed since last year. AI deployments are now working together in a coordinated effort, generating new algorithms to solve instruction sets that they could not previously do or did not have the power to do. Prior to last year, our view of AI models was that a human would have to create this and provide direction, scope, boundaries. Fast forward just a few months, and now we're no longer talking like that. We're at the point now where we're just considering just how fast and how far this will go. I guess the only thing that would stop it would be a global and sudden power loss, or you know, resource scarcity of some way. Because one thing that is absolutely true, the AI we're building to now today is a resource and energy hog, massive energy hog. Human intellect, by comparison, is very low in its energy production. So if you're just looking at sheer efficiency, man has a long way to go to catch up with God or nature, because God and nature certainly created a much more efficient thinking machine than what we have today. As I pondered this today, I realized just how futile it is right now to resist the changes that AI technologies are bringing to every enterprise company. When I was in college, I spent some time studying several theories regarding diffusion of innovation. This was relevant because at the time you could get a sense, especially in the early 90s with the invention of the internet or the development of the internet, that there was this acceleration of innovation coming. How are people and companies going to maximize the value of these new innovations? My favorite book on the topic was by Everett Rogers called Diffusion of Innovation. In this work, he talks about innovators, early adopters, the majority, the laggards. You might recognize those phrases. He really focuses on why innovation is not distributed down to a population of people, despite the fact the innovation is superior to what they're using. One particularity that was interesting is the response that different types of groups have to a new innovation being introduced. The early adopters are the ones who were willing to take risks, but they mostly saw innovation as a potential for new offerings or opening up new markets, improving current revenue streams. Whereas the laggards would eventually adopt, but they would have to be convinced that there was enough cost-saving advantages to do so. So adopters focus on revenue growth and laggards focus on cost cutting. I think this has proven true with almost every new innovation at the market in my reason. This does not have much to do with my dream, or does it? Perhaps there is a few points to consider. With the rise of generative AI creating its own optimizers and its own solutions to decision-making challenges, Are we going to see this gap between adopters and laggards grow increasingly wide? Perhaps what we used to call the majority will shrink, and the adopters who have put themselves into the correct position will grow so rapidly and so fast the laggards will never catch up. And most likely, the majority will not catch up either. Perhaps this God, like a character in my dream, was onto something. The speed of development we are setting today is nowhere close to what it'll be in 12, 18, 36 months from now. Even at that rate of speed, we're still nowhere close to the full potential of what we're trying to do today. We may have seen a turn in the evolutionary cycle of adoption. Are we at the point where resistance is truly futile? If a business does not start the process of adopting this innovation, how far will the gap be in 18 months, 18 weeks, or even in 18 minutes? The number, performance, and growth of private closed AI models is exponentially increasing every day. We are going to have an explosion of AI agents, and closed models are going to dwarf what we have access to today publicly. Still, I am in awe at considering how intelligent an organic species is like us and how little energy we deploy to get access to that intelligence. My fever dream last night was right. Even with this exponential growth, we have a long way to go.